right? So capital T presented tall, capital T small t is presented heterozygous condition, that is also tall, and small t short or dwarf, right? So in this case, one gene, the T indicates, capital T indicates tall character, and small t, that is controls, small t gene controls short character, right? In cases recessive or dominance, that is separated. Generally, one gene controls one phenotype. One gene controls one phenotypic character, but sometimes one gene may control more than one phenotype. One gene may control more than one phenotypic characters. That condition is called pleiotropy. So go for the next point. The genes that control more than one phenotype are called pleiotropic genes. The genes that control more than one phenotype are called pleiotropic genes. Which genes are considered as pleiotropic genes? The genes that control more than one phenotype are called pleiotropic genes. Generally, genes are controls how many phenotypes? One phenotype only. But in the pleiotropic genes means the genes that control more than one phenotype, that type of the genes are called pleiotropic genes, right? Okay. A pleiotropic gene controls a major phenotypic trait, and along with that it influences some other phenotypic traits also. A pleiotropic gene controls a major phenotypic trait, right? And along with that it influences some other phenotypic trait also. Here one gene controls more than one phenotypic characters. So first preference is 1, the major preference is 1, and along with that it influences some of the other phenotypic traits also. Here given, see, a pleiotropic gene controls a major phenotypic trait, right? And along with that it influences some other phenotypic traits also. So that is the condition of pleiotropy, right? So in NCERT textbook, pleiotropy word not given. So after the multiple alleles, yesterday we discussed blood groups, and after blood groups multiple alleles given, multiple after the multiple alleles directly example given of pleiotropy, right? So directly the statement given, but pleiotropy not given. The example directly given, you can go through the example also, right? So what is the example for pleiotropy in plants and humans? Let us discuss, right? So plant example. So what is meant by pleiotropy? So one gene controls more than one phenotypic characters, that is called pleiotropy. And in the plants, what is the example of pleiotropy? Starch synthesis in pea seeds controlled by one gene, which also influences shape of the seed also. Starch means carbohydrate synthesis in pea plant. So in the pea seeds, the starch synthesis, carbohydrate synthesis is controlled by one gene. So one gene controls. So synthesis of starch is depending upon one gene. That same gene which also influences the shape of the seed. You got it or not? So what is the major controlling of the gene? The major controlling of the gene is starch synthesis in the pea plant. So what is the another controlling of the gene? Shape of the seed. For the shape of the seed also, this same gene is responsible. So one gene only controls two characters. So starch synthesis, production of the starch, carbohydrate production, and shape of the seed also, right? So that only this is the example for pleiotropy, right? And it has two alleles. So the gene has two alleles. So what is that? Capital B and small b. So the gene has two alleles, capital B and small b, right? Starch is synthesized effectively by capital B homozygotes, and therefore large starch grains are produced. Okay. So this starch gene is responsible for two characters we discussed. What is that? Starch synthesis and also shape of the seed. So here go through the next point, this point. Starch is synthesized effectively by capital B homozygotes, and therefore large starch grains also produced. So in the alleles, capital B also presented, and capital small b also presented, capital B small b also presented. Homozygous and heterozygous. Dominant, homozygous dominant, homozygous dominant, and recessive, both are recessive, and heterozygous dominant, right? So starch is synthesized effectively by capital B homozygotes, and therefore capital B is, in case capital B is present in homozygotic condition, and starch synthesis is effectively, and large size grains are produced. The shape of the size also large, right? In contrast, small b homozygotes have lesser efficiency in starch synthesis and produce smaller starch grains. So both are small b is presented. So starch synthesis also less and produce small starch grains also. The size of the starch also less, small. Okay. After maturation of the seeds, capital B seeds are round, small b seeds are wrinkled. Alright. So here see, after maturation of the seeds, capital B seeds are round shape, and small b seeds are wrinkled. Wrinkled means what? Folds. So this scenario happened by what? By the same gene which controls the starch synthesis and which controls the shape of the seeds also, right? So whenever the gene has both homozygous dominant capital B seeds are capital B presented, that type of the seeds are round, and small b seeds are presented, those are small b genes are presented, alleles are presented, those are wrinkled in shape, right? And capital B more starch production, and small b less starch production, right? That point you can remember. Okay, so what about heterozygous condition here? Heterozygous produce round seeds, capital B dominant allele. So in the there's two alleles we discussed, capital B and small b. So heterozygous condition means what? One is capital B and another one is small b. So we can clearly observe here capital B is the dominant. Always in the genetics language, dominance are assigned with capital letters, capital B. In the capital T, small t also we discussed in monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross. So capital T tall, small t short, right? Here also same. The capital B is the dominant allele. Heterozygous produce round seeds. Why round seeds? Capital B indicates round, so that is the dominant, so that only round seeds. The starch grain produced are of intermediate size in capital B small b seeds. Okay, here you can remember one more important point. The starch grain produced are, the shape of the seed is round only because capital B is presented. So what about the starch production? Because capital B is presented dominant, that is starch production also more effectively. But here what happens? The starch grain produced are of intermediate size in capital B small b seeds. You got it or not? Whenever capital B small b is presented, in capital B is there, so shape of the seed is round only. And what about the starch production? Starch production should be also high effectively, but here what happening? Intermediate size in capital B and small b seeds. Intermediate size means what? Starch production also intermediate, not effectively, not less. Means what? Here both are exhibits both parent characters. Both parent characters means what? There is incomplete dominance, right? So here giving. So if starch grain size is considered as the phenotype, allele show incomplete dominance. Why incomplete dominance? Here see, sorry, here not both parent characters. Here exhibits, any of the parent characters are not exhibits here. You got it or not, right? So the starch grain produced are of intermediate size in capital B small b seeds. Capital B small b is presented, right? So either big size or small size should be produced. So here what production is takes place?